Corey Carter at Critical Comics, coming to you today with the next episode along with Brandon, my lovely, lovely co-host, and Harry, furry assistant. And we got our special guest today. We've got Fred Victor Freeze from the podcast of Hip Hop Vanguard. Fred, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Anytime I can get out of lag.
Absolutely. And at this point, all we're doing, you're still ruling the country with an iron fist as it is,
yes. Man? Dictatorship.
Dictatorship. It works. Hey, everything's peaceful. Everything's peaceful. No. Well, today we've got an anticipatory show today where we're talking about movies that we're looking forward to seeing that are going to be coming out soon, starting with Judge Dredd, the remake. And everybody, I'm using the word remake because everybody is tired of the word reboot. And at this point, a lot of people, if you may not know anything about Judge Dredd, basically it was a comic book that started off back in 1977 about the distant future where, you know, a police force is now given the power of judge, jury, and executioner. And all of them are called judges, and they police the megacities for crime. And for those of you who didn't know that, you know, you do definitely know about the Sylvester Stallone film that was made. I am the law. You know, Again, excuse us for that one, but yeah, everybody knows about the Stallone flick that was just filled with
an Oscar-winning movie, wasn't it?
I'd say the acting was definitely on point there. That was top of the mountain.
It's just that's the rub. I think that's gonna be the problem with the whole movie. Is like, you know, can they make it not cheesy? In other words, we know where it was in the past, and how can you bring this '70s sci-fi type thing to the present?
Indeed. I think a lot of folks right now, they've released some set photos. Carl Urban is going to be starring in the new remake, and Carl Urban's been in such geek-centric movies like Lord of the Rings, Red, and of course a lot of people know him as Bones from the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie. Yeah. So he's already got some fanfare going behind him as it is. So I would think that's a pretty good spot to go with. But, you know, a lot of people are just wondering if this is going to be cheesy. That's why I think the expectations...
Well, you don't have Rob Schneider anymore, so that should take care of that.
Well, he's too busy. He's too busy, you know, doing a lot of different comic films and, you know, basically sucking. But as far as the different like aspects of the film, they have released some set photos. Carl Urban looks pretty good in the new Judge Dredd gear, and the directors have said they're not going to have him take off the helmet throughout the entirety of the film,
which pays homage to the series as it was, like, because Judge Dredd always said that justice, you know, has no face.
Exactly. They said justice is blind, justice has no face. Yeah. And they're not going to have him kiss his the love interest in the film. They're not going to have him, you know, plant a big kiss on him or anything like that. So they're going to stay away from the cheesiness. Yeah. But they've said that it's going to be action-packed, and, you know, it's going to pay homage more to the comic books. A lot of what the directors are saying have really got people on their side. So I think fan expectation is kind of an even keel thus far. You know, until we see a first trailer come out, you know, I think everybody's just reserving judgment.
Yeah, and just because of the first movie, I mean, people have low expectations, but I think they should give this movie a shot, though. They
should, and then, like I said, Judge Dredd is kind of like a, you know, under the radar type. I mean, it's a cult classic, but the key word is cult. You know, it's kind of like indie classic, and so they have a little room to play with. They just don't need to hang themselves like they've done in the past.
I would say so. Speaking of cult classics, the next film that we're going to talk about is the remake of Total Recall. That they're going to be remaking that film. And Fred, when you heard about this, you were just...
man. There's no shot with this. How do you do better than the first Total Recall?
I'm like, why? Why are they doing this? I mean, if you're not trying to continue the story, I just don't know. It's like, are we running out of money that bad in Hollywood? Must we do this?
I don't know.
They can't match the intensity. There was a guy who had a charismatic leader growing out of his body. He did. Yeah. Imagine if you had like Malcolm X growing out of your arms. That's what happened in that movie.
Start the reactor. Yeah. But I would say, I will agree with you guys. I will agree wholeheartedly, and I know a lot of fans agree. It's going to be hard to top that Arnold Schwarzenegger film. It's going to be, man, it's going to be tough to top that. They've got one foot in the grave as it is. But I would say with the cast that they've got replacing Arnold, they've got Colin Farrell, who's a really good actor. Replacing the love interest, they've got, I believe, Kate Beckinsale. And directing the movie is the same man who's done, Len Wiseman, who's done all the Underworld movies. So he's no stranger to special effects and good action and gory special effects. Please, dear God, for the love of all that is holy, don't make this PG-13. That is going to kill it. That is going to kill it.
I think they're going to go over
You're not going to have an exploding robot head in this movie. You're not going to have that.
Yeah. Get ready for a surprise. But
And I still ask the question, why are they doing this so soon? It's not like it's Gone with the Wind or something. It's like it's.
Well,
they're remaking Spider-Man. It's only taking like 5 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, gee whiz.
How old is the Sam Raimi flicks by now that they're doing another reboot? For Christ's sake, I hate that costume. That's another episode before I start going off. But I would say versus the original, they got one foot in the grave as it is. But we're gonna leave that until we see a trailer, until we see more for it. Yeah. But the next film that we're looking at is something that's a little bit more anticipated, which is Chronicle, which we know nothing about.
Yeah.
This is pretty much the Hollywood's first real stab at an original.
It just sparked our interest a little bit, you know. We saw the preview and we just decided to talk about it. You know, it kind of seemed like it had some superhero elements in it.
Definitely superhero elements in it. Basically, it revolves around 3 teenagers, 3 kids who go into a cave. They find something mysterious in that cave, and when they come back out, they've all got these superpowers ranging from invulnerability, telekinesis, the gift of flight, and of course, you know, everybody lives happily ever after, as teenagers with a gigantic responsibility usually do.
Yeah.
And there's no conflict, and everyone, you know, has ice cream afterwards.
Now, what really happens?
Yeah.
Pretty much one of them goes crazy and starts killing everybody.
And
you know.
I wonder how they're going to resolve that. At the end. I hope they don't cop out in a Hollywood type of way. And also, as I stated before, I think that it's a lot like that Wild Card series, the novels, Wild Card, and the show that was on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
That dealt with powers like superpowers or
yeah, the heroes.
Yes, it's similar to that. It's like, but they're doing a take somewhere near that. But I know it's going to be totally different. I'm just hoping they don't cop out at the end and make it all rainbow. And
well, hopefully there's no writer strike to fuck this one up. But
exactly.
You know, we're seeing buses get thrown in the trailer. We're seeing like entire squads of police being flown about. You know, like that. So it seems like they're going to go with the big, knockdown, drag out superhero fight at the end, which I'm hoping for.
That's what I'm
but I would say fan expectations toward this one, they're kind of capitalizing on a couple different things. It's the teen aspect of it, and the superpowered aspect of it. So it's combining a couple of different things. So I think a lot of people are excited to see this one, and we're hoping to get a little something good out of it. I hope to see.
Yeah.
But that's the movies that we're hoping to see. The movies that we have seen thus far, and we're moving on to things that are moving towards DVD that you might have seen already, or that we're hoping to see now. That are the Immortals. And right now, we're as far as the Immortals, I've seen this film, and I have to say, guys, I thought it was really well done. I thought it was an overall good movie. Unfortunately, I would say the drawback is that it doesn't have quite as much action as the trailer led it to believe. Yeah. It's not
when there is action, it's more brutal than anything you
exactly. When there is action, man, it's up there. It's up there because. Especially when the Olympian gods get involved. Basically, it revolves around the story of Theseus, stopping the release of the Titans. And it's a really good film in the sense that, while it may not have a ton of action like, Gladiator or anything like that, I wouldn't rank it that high. It's still very well done with the special effects they've had. Made by the same people that did 300, and also directed, amazingly enough, by the guy who did The Cell.
It's got Stephen Dorff in it, too.
Yeah.
Yes, it has Stephen Dorff in it.
The return of Stephen Dorff.
The return of Stephen Dorff, who I'm really glad to see back. We have not seen Stephen yet. I'm really glad to see him back.
In several movies.
We haven't seen him in anything huge.
He was in Blade, and then I just never saw him again.
It's like we saw him as Deacon Frost, and then suddenly he just kind of dropped off for a little bit.
The Will Act for Food sign works.
Exactly. But as far as those points go, I really did like the film. Overall, I give the film a solid 8. Because it was an all-around good movie. If you're expecting like Gladiator or Troy or anything like that, you might be disappointed. But the special effects they've got definitely keep it. It definitely keeps it interesting. So I like it. And the next thing we're going to be talking about is going to be the movie Super. It stars Rainn Wilson and Juno's Ellen Page. It also has Liv Tyler, and again, playing another comic book villain is Kevin Bacon. Amazingly enough, but one not so annoying is Sebastian Shaw. But I will say this film surprised me in the sense of just how twisted it was.
What is his primary weapon in this movie?
He's called the Crimson Bolt. He calls himself the Crimson Bolt, and his weapon is a wrench.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And he basically uses a wrench to beat the shit out of people. Yeah. Quite literally.
For doing what?
For anything. Usually it's, it started off with drug dealers, and then it moved on to very bad people, corrupt cops, and then, folks butting in line at the movie theater. Literally, there is a scene where someone butts in line at him in the movie theater. He runs to the car, gets his costume on, and bashes the guy in the head with a wrench.
So what you're saying is he's kind of like the Phoenix, the real character in
He's the avenging angel. You would say he's the avenging angel.
Out in, what is it?
Yeah, there was a guy who was in California. He was actually doing that type of stuff. Only he didn't bash people's
Phoenix Jones.
Phoenix Jones.
Phoenix Jones.
He was a real life Phoenix Jones.
The real life Phoenix Jones in that case, and it's a very cool movie in the sense that it's very twisted. Yes, it's just a very twisted film. There's probably one of the most disturbing sex/rape scenes I've ever seen in there, but it's still they managed to make it funny. Which is a huge feat, which is crazy. But
got me with the buy-in.
and basically, it's about this guy who loses his girlfriend to a drug dealer, played by Kevin Bacon. The guy kind of loses his mind a little bit and decides to become a real life superhero, and kind of finds his purpose. And Ellen Page plays the comic book girl who works at the comic shop, helps him find these different superheroes, and essentially becomes a sidekick. Mm-hmm. The high points of the film to me is that it's very twisted, it's very crazy. The low points is that, truth be told, it wasn't long enough to me. I could have seen more of that, really.
It was a little bit short.
But it's a little cult film, so I guess you gotta expect that, But all around, I give the film a 9.
I gave it like an 8.
Give it an 8. I trumped you on this one.
Well, you guys got me intrigued, so I must see this.
You have to see this.
It's on my must-see list.
Indeed,
but rape and people being beaten by wrenches.
By wrenches as their superpower.
You had me with beating their wrenches.
Okay.
Indeed.
You had me then.
Freaking Phoenix Jones. But we're gonna go as far as just different aspects of superhero-dom. Television is also one thing we have to look at as well. And right now, dominating the airwaves to me has got to be DC. DC is just dominating television, as it is with a lot of the things they've come out with. And I think I know the reason why, is I found out about the merger that's going to be happening between Cartoon Network and DC Comics. Is basically they have decided to merge together to form this, I don't know, either a block of shows or just a very large block of shows that they show on their own that Cartoon Network's going to host and that DC is going to end up making. And they've already got a great start off with Young Justice. The new CGI Green Lantern show, which actually isn't garbage. We saw that, and it's actually like good. We saw the animation. We weren't too crazy about it, and but it's essentially like The Incredibles.
Yeah,
The Incredibles. It's in the same vein as The Incredibles. They've also got what other shows are they showing right now?
It's the Teen Titans.
The Young Justice.
The Young Justice is there. Yeah, they also got the Teen Titans that they're going to be showing a block of. Yeah. But the thing that a lot of people are excited about is that they're showing a lot of new shows too that they're going to be making. So what fans are hoping to see from this, I think, are just a huge block of shows that they want, and that they're gonna get. If you don't get excited, there's a preview out for it now. If you look on YouTube, if you don't get excited about that, I gotta take your comic book hat away. You're not a real fan.
You have to take their nerd badge away.
I'm cautiously optimistic, given the history of Cartoon Network and good shows.
True,
I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic.
True, but with DC Animated Universe. Have we had a bad movie yet? I don't think so.
No. I'm just saying I'm hoping that they stick with it because they're known to cancel shows I love and they just.
Sorry about Justice League Unlimited, man.
Oh, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about.
I think everybody's sorry about Justice League Unlimited.
We don't have time to run a list of shows that they canceled. They just.
Yeah, still not Fox.
Yeah.
But anyway, as far as our show, that's our show for us today. As we went through a couple of different things, the shows that we've watched today, all the things that we're checking out. Definitely check out the DC Cartoon Network merger. Super, you have to see Super if you like dark humor, if you like comic book films. The Immortals is definitely a good film you should check out, and we're looking forward to Judge Dredd, sort of. And we're very iffy on Total Recall. We'll see how that one pans out. We'll have to see how that one pans out. But hey guys, this has been Critical Comics. Check us out when you get the chance on Facebook. This has been Corey, Master of All Four Elements Carter, Brandon, Firelord of our group, and Fred Victor Freeze. Probably gonna have to go back to Latveria soon.
Gotta catch the first plane out.
Yeah, the Fantastic Four is waiting for you, man. You know they are. As a part of the plan.
Keep my brass knuckles from being grim at all times.
The old lady taking your brass knuckles on the plane.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you got any questions, check us out on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/criticalcomics. Check us out on our Facebook page, and as usual, if you got any questions, comments, death threats, or any suggestions to make, please email us at critical.comics@gmail.com. Other than that, we'll catch y'all later. Stars Rainn Wilson in